Good afternoon, welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. This May Day, Labour expert Austin Game is entreating government to explore ways of creating more sustainable jobs for the teeming unemployed youth rather than short-term options. According to him, government's interventions such as the Nation Builders Corps, although impressive, is unsustainable.
The Nation Builders Corps, the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative, are a number of interventions by government to mitigate the country's unemployment challenges. So far, government says it has employed 100,000 youth under the Nation Builders Corps, with over 750,000 farmers registered under the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative. Despite this, Labour expert Austin Game says most of these jobs are not sustainable.
This NABCO thing is a transitional thing, which is very factual. Any economists can say whatever they want to say, but is it real? That is paperwork. The reality is that it's not sustainable. What must be done is to stay with the word transition and get people seated to enable them have a conversation if truly the people have been trained. What are they being trained for? As carpenters, as masons? If you are truly trained in that, then we put them together in a cooperative format, get them some tools. Government is the biggest buyer in every sphere of the economy. So that if it is road construction or is some construction of some school building, can these people who are put together have a supervisor? They are captured. That's where we begin the informality into formality, so that they can capture them properly. They pay the appropriate taxes. They earn some income. They can also expand and employ somebody.
Mr. Game further noted government must make an effort to engage leaders in the informal sector to boost revenue collection.
To broaden the tax net to capture virtually everybody, both formal and informal, especially the informal sector, is to consciously get a team of people who are dedicated, either led by GRA or an ad hoc body. But we need the political players to come together, not as partisan people, but to come together in the interest of the nation. So we have a conversation as to how do we capture the informal sector and broaden the tax net, involve the trade unions, involve everybody, so we all sit down and have this conversation.
For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklo reporting.
In other news, the National Communications Authority says it will be developing a new regulation to assess the performance of telecom operators. This would be an upgraded version of the Key Performance Indicators Guide developed 15 years ago. There's more in this report.
The Quality of Service Regulations, which is in its draft stage, is a set of requirements that telcos need to meet to satisfy consumer expectations. The new set of regulations is expected to address gaps in existing quality of service assessment and enforcement approaches, taking into consideration modern technologies. Speaking to Joy Business, the Deputy Director for Technical Operations at the National Communications Authority, Henry Kano, said they hope to get the new regulation approved by the end of the year.
The existing key performance indicators in the licenses of the operators are outdated. So, and there are new technologies coming out, WhatsApp, over the top, a lot of new technologies that were not captured 15 years ago. So there's a need to revise the quality of service indicators so that it can we have a new thing to work with because of the WhatsApp voice calls and other things and content developers. There should be another quality of service mechanism to regulate all these new service providers. So that's why we are doing it. We want to do it, the timeline, we are looking at it that by the end of this year we should finish.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito, said issues of billing and contracts for patrons of telcos must be considered as part of the regulation.
I even have a problem with the fact that in this part of the world, as a prepaid customer, okay, I don't have a contract with any telco. I don't know what the rules and regulations of engagement that I have bought the chip for. So in case I have anything that I want to complain, what am I going to use to complain? If you are postpaid, there's a contract. It spells out the terms and conditions for you. But most prepaid customers, as Ghana is, we don't even know. So, I mean, how do I go and challenge the telco for something that maybe they promised to do when I don't have it in writing? So that is another area that I think as part of this thing, we should make sure that prepaid, because if you go to other jurisdictions, yes, they would give you a proper receipt.
For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklu.
And there's much more on the marketplace. At the top of the hour, we'll be speaking with the Secretary General of the TEC, Dr. Anthony Barr. It's back to you, Bernice. Hopefully, we see an improvement in service from our telcos.
Definitely, and we know, Daryl, that a lot of people have been complaining about this. Let's just see how that goes. But thank you so much for business news.